Somewhere between the edge of being alive and feeling dead. This picture of us here, it's just like a rearview mirror right before the crash. Man, I hate this old love song, but I'm the fool who turns it on like it can change.
Mexican, you can't cross over. You stay that your side. Okay, here's the line, go on, get over there.
Oh, I lost me thumb.
Since you went away, I got one foot in the grave.
Look at that. What an amazing place to wake up to. Twilight Cove. What could possibly go wrong?
I don't like it when you say that.
Buried kicking them stones in love's cemetery.
There you go, that's the start of the dunes behind me.
Well, I said it's not the end, and I swore I'd get you back again, but now I can't believe that he and you said I do. I wasn't there watching you, but a chill came over me.
Rant warning.
Took me 7 litres of water to put it out. Give me a break.
Since you went away, I got one foot in the grave. Somewhere.
See, we have now left Canalda Homestead Station, whatever you want to call it, the old servo that shut down many moons ago, back in the 1980s I think it was, late 70s, early 80s, something like that. So yeah, we ended up staying there an extra day, just simply to catch up on downloading some footage. Big drive across to here, so needed a bit of a break. Ended up having an early night, got up early this morning. We're still operating on WA time, so it's actually 6:15 we've left this morning. But on South Australia time, it's 8:45, so we're either a bit early or a bit late, but never mind, it won't be long before we're back on WA time. We've tried to stick to WA time because we weren't travelling that far into South Australia. So, okay, so where are we? Day 4. Plan today is to head back across the border, and then we're going to the Eyre Bird Observatory. We'll check that place out, head down towards the beach, have a look at a few points of interest down there, and then we'll find somewhere to camp, I guess, and see how it goes. I guess we're going to be in camp early today, given it's 6:15, so could be an early drink on the cards. Alright, and if the videos jumped around a little bit while I was downloading yesterday, I noticed a lot of the in-car stuff I took. This camera's either playing up or I'm losing my touch on operating the camera, probably the latter. But a lot of my in-car stuff was recorded in time-lapse, so I won't be able to use it. So if it jumps around a bit without much explanation, that's probably why, okay? Alright, so yeah, the old Eyre Highway. I would have travelled this back when I was 5 or so with my family in the old combi van. It looks a bit different now, a bit narrower than it once was, but probably just as rough. But we'll see how it goes. Been looking forward to doing this run, so it's a lot better than bitumen. Why would you drive on a perfectly good bitumen road when there's a dirt truck you can tow? Alright, let's 70 odd k's to go I think it is, so let's go. Yeah, I just thought I'd stop here and just show you how Mother Nature has reclaimed the road, basically. Now, I do remember as a kid this road being really wide, and there's evidence of it. You can see the limestone rocks down here, where basically the grader would have pushed the road aside, formed the edge of the road on that side, and you can see it over on that side as well. And this is basically, I'm standing in what would have once been the middle of the road, and you can see the vegetation has taken it back over, which is good to see. If you look up the highway up there, you can see that's all vegetation up there, and of course down there vegetation as well. It's funny how over time the land takes itself back over from what man once created, and I guess it's been what, since the late 70s that the bitumen road was pushed through the new Eyre highway, and this highway was not used anymore. But you can see it's still well travelled. People obviously like us like to use dirt instead of bitumen for some very strange reason, but yeah, it's quite well used and it's not in bad condition. It's a little bit rough here and there. We're averaging about 60, 70 k's an hour, 80 in some spots, and there's a couple of spots where it's a little bit washed away, but apart from that, it's all good. Alright, I just thought I'd stop and show that because it's actually amazing to see how the land is reclaiming itself. So yeah, it's awesome. Alright, next stop, Border Village. Alrighty, we're literally coming up on the border now. I can see it on the map, it's that far away. And I can see the windmills turning up in the distance. So almost back in WA, and I can see the clouds parting just as we arrive. Because I can tell you the weather in South Australia has been pretty crappy since we've been there. It's been blowy and overcast, so looking forward to stepping back into WA where the weather doesn't look much better, to be honest with you. But okay, never mind, almost there. Okay, so here we are. I don't know what's happened to the WA sign, obviously it's fallen off, but I guess I'm now back in WA. So, see, I told you, and the sun's shining. See, sun's hardly been out in the last 2 days while we've been in South Australia, so crappy weather on that side. Looks like crappy weather on that side, but it's got to get better, So yeah, crack of 19 degrees it was this morning when we left camp, so I'm hoping it's going to be a little bit warmer because we're on the coast from now on. So next stop I think is the Eyre Bird Observatory. We're going to go and check that out, and down towards some points of interest down on the coach and check out the beach down there. So looking forward to getting down on the beach. Hopefully it's not as windy as it's been for the last couple of days, and we can find a nice camp down there somewhere. Alright guys, I'll see you down there.
You're a Mexican, you can't cross over. You stay at your side.
But how come your sign's fallen off, mate?
I know, we're special, we've got it on the ground. Go on, you're Mexican.
You obviously don't get too high in WA, do you?
Hang on,
no?
Here's the line, go on, get over there.
Oh, I lost my thong.
Hey look, it even says South Australia, unsafe area. Hey?
Hey look, my thong's now in South Australia and I'm in Western Australia.
You got a fair trip to go get it.
Now I'm in South Australia and I got a dirty foot. Alright, let's get out of here. Alright, just crossed the border and it's time to ring the wife because I haven't spoken to her for a few days.
Hey.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello. I just got the camera on.
Oh, were you talking about me?
Yeah, I was just saying how I haven't spoken to you for a couple of days because basically the moment we crossed the border, lost reception. Had nothing and couldn't even get on the internet when we were at the border. So.
Oh, typical.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. How's it been? What you been up to?
Oh, you know, cruising around.
As you do.
As you do. Oh, I'll turn the camera off now so we can have a normal conversation.
Okay.
Okay, so we've finally made the turn off to the Eyre Bird Observatory, which means three things. Time to get out and stretch the legs. Two, let some air out of the tyres because it is a four-wheel drive track eventually, and a bit of a dirt road here. And I've got to put some lunch in the oven. So here's the sign, rough road ahead. Scarp lookout 20 kilometres, Eyre Bird Observatory is 30 kilometres away. Observe, four-wheel drive, no dogs, cats and no camping. And there's another sign there, Eyre Bird Observatory. And there's a bit more information up there, and the highway is basically just there. So we've literally just turned off, about 20 kilometres short of Cocklebiddy, I think it is. So. Alright, we'll put some lunch in the oven and knock some air out of these tyres. Alrighty, head down to 18 in the front, 20 in the back. Apparently it's about 8 k's of just a bit of a rough dirt road, and then it just turns into sand, I'm assuming beach sand. So straight down to coastal type pressures, and we'll just take it easy on this road until we get in there. So in about 30 kilometres time, we shall hit the bird observatory. Should be just about ready for lunch by then, I reckon. Gary's just giving the bird observatory a call on channel 12 UHF. There's a sign back there that says call up before you come in, and at that sign it's four-wheel drive only past this point. So there's a lookout there. Where I guess anybody can leave their non-four-wheel drive or their trailer and chuff on in through here. So I'm guessing it turns to sand. I can see the ocean over there, and I can see some sand dunes. So we're getting close to the coast. Wait and see how Gary goes with the call-up, because sometimes they answer these things and sometimes they don't.
They're not on channel, so we'll just keep going. We get to quite a steep part shortly where you will need low range.
Roger, mate. No drama. So there you go. All right, looking forward to that bit. All right, see you soon. So just so you can see this bit, this is the bit where you've got to call them up as well here. But can just see the coast over there and some sand dunes. All right, go. Let's go. Alrighty, heading down.
Righto, just take a nice move in case someone's coming up. Either they've changed this a little bit or my memory's really bad, because I remember it being really steep and you needed low range. You could drive down this in two-wheel drive. This old post that you just went past is one of the telegraph posts?
Yeah, I'm starting to see a few of them. Alrighty, so here we are at the bird observatory. Track in's not bad, sandy, hilly, nothing exciting, but you do need to let your tyres down and put it in four-wheel drive. So here we go. Okay, so one thing I must mention is the bird observatory is actually in one of the old telegraph station buildings. So there's some poles on the way in where the telegraph wires used to run out. Probably still see a few of them off in the distance over there, and we'll show you one on the way out. But yeah, we'll have a bit of a look around, eh? Alright, so there you go. It's not massive, it's not a big thing to look at, but worth a drive in if you're into that sort of thing. And it's a bit of history, and it's also a weather station, so a bit goes on here. There's nobody around, so we can't really get any more information, so we're just going to go for a cruise down the beach now and probably have our lunch down there, so we'll see you down there. Pretty good spot for lunch. The beach. Where else would you want to stop for lunch? Alrighty, so we just stopped and had a quick lunch break on the beach down here. The wind is pretty blowy. There's a headland just up here. We're going to go up and see if we can get around it, and if we can get around it then we can drive straight up to Twilight Cove. Otherwise we've got to go back out and around. So we're just going to see if we can get around this headland and maybe a quick trip into Twilight Cove for camp tonight. Alright, so we just come across this skinny section of beach with a lot of weed on our left, so we're just pushing through, trying to make it to Twilight Cove without having to go around the long way. So we'll see how we go. Alright, just coming up to Twilight Cove now. I'll turn that camera around so you can see me. There we go. And yeah, this beach is amazing. It's so white and so wide. It's huge. My God.
So we saved ourselves like virtually a day.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, Gary's just saying we've basically saved ourselves a day.
If the wind's not blowing, we could stay extra.
We saved ourselves a day by coming in at the bird observatory, driving all the way along the beach till that weedy patch.
Having said that, it looks pretty blowy out there.
It is a bit windy. And there was a track off to the right.
Coming across the front of the cliffs.
There was a track coming off to the right that said Twilight Cove, so we followed it, and it's popped us back out on the beach a couple of kilometres from Twilight Cove. So it's just up there in front of us, so hopefully it's not too windy and we can camp here for a couple of days. Well, I reckon we have found the perfect spot. Welcome to Twilight Cove. Look at this. Absolutely amazing. And I hadn't even heard of this place until I watched Ronnie's video a few weeks. So thanks, Ronnie. Awesome place. There's one other camp 400 metres that way, a couple of cars, a couple of couples down there. So this is our spot for the next couple of days, I reckon. Gary's having a bit of trouble finding the perfect spot. I reckon this is it. So we're going to set up camp and we'll check in with you a little bit later. Alright, camp is all set up, and I haven't done this yet on this trip, but this campsite deserves a cheers. Just check it out. Might be calling it early, Gary. Campsite of the trip? Yeah? So far? It's going to be hard to top this one, I reckon. As soon as the wind dies down, I'll send the drone up over the cliffs, but yeah, cheers. Oh, and so the guy that left the comment on our last trip video, my cap, it never went on the ground, mate. On the table. Quite clearly see me putting on it, and the rubbish bin is right here. Just in case you feel like making another comment. Cheers. And just so you can see our lovely campsite. Are these the Baxter Cliffs?
Yes, mate, yeah.
Okay, so the Baxter Cliffs.
This is the eastern edge of the Baxter Cliffs.
Eastern edge of the Baxter Cliffs. Right beside us, and we're not under them. We're just in front of them. And there we are. Right there, and the ocean is about a minute's walk, not even a minute, the other side of those dunes. So
if you want to show them why we're not camped under the cliffs, walk to the top of the hill and have a look at the rock fall.
yeah, I will later.
There's about 100 tonne of rock.
Yeah, I remember someone saying if you camp under the cliffs, be very careful. Like those people down there.
Yeah, like it was our mate Ronnie that mentioned that.
Yeah, yeah.
You dead set, it's not great to camp there anyway, but you have a look, mate. They're dead set, it's got a 50 tonne. So they're this big, you'd be stone dead.
Yeah. Alright, well, I'm going to enjoy. We're going to be here for a couple of days. Why wouldn't you? So, probably won't do any more filming. I'm going to wait till the morning when hopefully there's no wind, and I'll send the drone up over the top of those cliffs and bring it over, just to give you a better view of where we are. But if I can just get up over the top of this dune here, that'll show you how far the ocean is from us. And then I'm going to put the camera down and enjoy this campsite. Now this sand is so clean, my feet are squeaking and the tyres were squealing as we were driving through it. So there's the ocean. Just over there. Now we're not camped right next to the ocean on the beach because it is windy and very hard to sleep and have your awning up and everything else in that wind. But here we are sheltered. You can barely feel the wind here at all. So anyhow, I'm going to stop yabbering, have a few drinks and take it all in. We'll talk to you guys later.
Better left buried, kicking them stones in love's cemetery. Ashes to ashes and dust to dust. My head's full of memories that time box won't shut. Ashes to ashes and dust to dust. A nail in the coffin of what's left of us. I got one foot in the grave, somewhere between the edge of being alive and feeling dead. Since you went away, I got one foot in the grave, somewhere between the edge of being alive and feeling dead. Living like this makes time scary, digging up bones.